My name's Joseph Shane. I'm an EDM and pop artist. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, and I'm an emerging artist. So I started doing music throughout my entire life. I was playing piano, drums, uh, involved in different bands and choirs and whatnot. I went into theater, got a theater degree, and pandemic happened. Couldn't do theater, so I'd been writing music throughout my college years, and it seemed like the best opportunity to start switching my focus from the theater to music. So just got started this year as far as trying to uh, try to get an audience, I suppose. So as far as music goes, I've written a lot of songs, and I'm currently continuing to write songs, but I've been working with my brother, and uh, he's been producing some songs for me, and we've been releasing those. So we have a handful of songs so far, and hoping to do some more. My career aspirations would be I'm an actor. I've trained in the theater. I'd like to also do some acting for film. Who knows, maybe I'd get into some writing or directing eventually. That'd be nice. But I'm also a musician. I am a songwriter and a singer. And it'd be nice to be able to get an EP out or an album eventually and collaborate with a bunch of different artists that both local and abroad. Yeah, so my experience with theater, I suppose it informs my writing process a little bit. I don't know if it informs it or if it's just that it's a mutual interest, but I like writing with alliteration and kind of some poetic symbolism uh, in my lyrics that I kind of pride myself in. So I suppose if you look at Shakespeare, he has a lot of alliteration, and you're trained to look for that because it can show where meaning is derived. So I suppose in that sense, I guess also in just a stage presence sense, I have the advantage of training for that, being in front of an audience, and the memorization and the performance aspect of that. As far as lyrics go, what inspires my music would be some of it's based off past experience. Other times I'll take a past experience that how I felt about a past experience, and then I'll kind of change the circumstances under which it actually took place, and maybe elaborate or switch things up so that I can show in a more interesting way how I felt. As far as genre-wise goes, I suppose I've had a bunch of different artists have inspired me over the years. I was a big Sam Shui fan growing up, and Sam Shui, he sings with a lot of vibrato and runs. So some of my music has that. I also like Stromae and Post Malone. They both have a lot of more percussive lyrics. I'm also a drummer, so maybe the percussive lyrics kind of come from that too. I like seeing what kind of patterns I can do with that. So my songwriting process, I sit at the piano for a long time. it Lots of the time it happens in the afternoon or in the evening, but really whenever I get the chance, I'll write. I used to write in college when I'd have a break. I'd find a piano and write, or if I was working at camp or just at home. And lots of the time, you sit there and you kind of pluck away and you write something and it's complete garbage, and you throw it away and you forget about it, and that's really frustrating. But other times, the spirit almost takes you and you can't stop writing. Like you're discovering what's going to come next. And then if someone's trying to interrupt you, they're like, "Oh, you need to do this thing." It's like, "No, leave me alone. I cannot, because if I leave this, I will never find it." I'll like kind of use my note app on my phone, and I'll write my lyrics out, maybe some chords, and I'll record my voice just on that voice recorder app and try to remember what the melody is. And then if the song isn't bad if I don't get annoyed with it, because it can be, catchy and it can still be annoying. So if it's decent, then I'll try to make kind of a demo on Ableton, and if I like that, I'll send it to my brother, and my brother will expand upon that, and maybe we'll throw that out and do something very different. The key might change, the tempo might change, we might add lyrics, take away lyrics. So the song really isn't done until it's in everyone else's ears, because I could be singing it for years one way and then it might change. So High as the Sky, I wrote that last year in summer 2020. Everyone was kind of locked down. There wasn't very much going on. And I wrote that. I was just sitting at the piano one day. I wasn't too sure if it was going to be a song that I'd end up recording or not, but I'm glad I did. It changed quite a bit, and I liked the direction we took with that song. That song was kind of based off some... it was actually originally written as a duet. So the second verse was supposed to be sung by someone else, but time didn't allow for that to happen, so that's okay. I think it still works as a solo song. But yeah, it was kind of based off this experience I had in it was 2017, where I was just laying in bed. Yeah, I got a phone call or a text. Can't remember which one it was, but I was informed by someone who was not doing very well. I think they were high, and told that yes, I was in fact I was dead to that person. So that was kind of and I was just like, I was tired. That's not exactly what you want to hear at 2 a.m. But yeah, that song's kind of just based off that. Yeah, so Lose You I wrote that this year, 2021, summer. That was an interesting song. Lots of the song I wrote all at once, and then I was having problems with the second verse, and I felt like it had to be really long. So I wrote it really long, and then it wasn't going to work in the studio. So we were actually in the studio, and we're like, this is just too long. So then we recorded everything, but we ended up cutting out most of that second verse because it was going to make the song kind of lopsided. That song was kind of inspired by Instagram. Obviously, I guess I have Graham right in the lyrics. And you see people that, maybe you like, and you get this idea that they have some higher social status because maybe they take really good photos, or they have a lot of likes or a lot of followers, and that can get to your head, and you think, well, I'm fairly insignificant. There's no reason this person would ever really see any reason to talk to me. So it was kind of a song written about kind of just a reflection on how our quote unquote social status changes over time, even with people that you might have liked in the past or had a crush on or something. I have a lyric in there that when ellipses is the goal, and that idea is that a lack of communication can be... We feel uncomfortable talking about how we really feel, if you tell somebody that you really like them, or that they make you feel this way, or that we don't want to let our guard down. So that song is a little bit about not being able to communicate how you feel in a relationship, and then having that social media status, and maybe that social media status also being like an element that can cause people to be depressed or anxious about their own self-image or social status. So what's next for me? That's a good question. I'd like to release an EP. I have a lot of songs that are in the demo phase, so we might see more sad, miserable, melancholy songs come out of that. I'd like to shoot some more music videos. I'd like to direct some music videos, but I don't know if that's going to be possible to direct and be in my own music videos. That might be a little bit much, so maybe I'll find someone to do that for me. I think it's partly the COVID situation and government lockdowns and whatnot will be a large factor in what direction everyone's career goes in these days. If you can do some live shows, I'd love to do some live shows. I don't know if I have the status to do a live show. I need some more fans. But if I could get some more fans, then maybe we'll have a live show. But other than that, I think probably releasing regular singles and maybe an EP will be what we're striving for, at least as far as music goes.